was that? We're just trying to make a succulent meal. A delicious beast feast.
Hello and welcome back to Monday Minis, the show where we paint minis and it's a Monday. Today we're going to be painting some little goblins and a big clay golem. And this is not for Dungeons and Dragons, no. This is for Daggerheart, specifically for a beast feast game, which is a really fun campaign frame. Basically think delicious in dungeon and you're good to go. So to get us started, let's look at the paints that we're going to be using for painting this clay golem, who's actually going to be acting like a big walking oven when it comes to the game. First, we're going to get started with this metallic antique bronze from Lethal Shadows. Then, we're going to brush that into all the little grooves, and eventually we're going to cover it with more of our base coat. And while we are putting on this Monument Paints brown-gray base coat, let's take a look at some of the capabilities of our clay golem oven. But first, we need to go to the Daggerheart core rulebook. Then we need to look for the section on adversaries. Once we find that chapter, it should be chapter 4, we can find the page on how to improvise adversaries or make your own homebrew. Now this clay golem oven is actually one of the tier 1 adversaries already in the book that has been modified. It's called a construct. And then using the rules that we've read, let's come up with some custom stats for this clay golem oven for our game of Beast Feast. But before we do that, we're going to take this fluorescent orange from Lethal Shadows and we are going to paint the eyes. Then we are going to use a mix of Monument Paints orange oxide as well as a dark rust effect paint from Monument Paints to make our golem into the clay golem oven, ready to make some delicious meals. Our clay golem oven is a tier 1 solo type enemy, a roughly humanoid being of clay, stone, and bronze, assembled and animated by magic. Its motives and tactics are to cook meals, serve its creator, smash targets, and of course, trample groups of weak little enemies. It's a difficulty 13 creature, with damage thresholds at 7 and 15. It has 9 HP, and 4 stress. It has an attack bonus of +4, and it uses its big meaty fists, or I guess clay, to punch enemies and do a d20 of physical damage. It has no experiences because it's just a robot. After adding all of our layers, we're going to go through and we are going to hit everything with a brown wash to really bring all of the colors together. Let's look at some of those features. Relentless. Passive. The clay golem oven can be spotlighted up to 2 times per GM turn. Spend fear as usual to spotlight them. Trample. Action. Marking a stress. You can make an attack against all targets in the clay golem oven's path when they move. Targets the clay golem oven succeeds against take 1d8 of physical damage. Overload. It's a reaction. Before rolling damage for the clay golem oven's attack, you can choose to mark a stress to gain +10 bonus to the damage roll. The clay golem oven can then take the spotlight again. We're getting to the last 2 features, but before we do that, we're going to take a very small brush and we're going to take some of that antique bronze and we're going to go back over the fine details of the rune work on this clay golem. All right, let's finish off this stat block. Oven air. Action. Spend a fear to open the clay golem oven's lid. Anyone within very close range must make a reaction roll or take 1d10 +5 magical damage. And finally, the big finale. Death explosion. A reaction. When the clay golem oven marks their last HP, the magic powering them ruptures in an explosion of force. Make an attack with advantage against all targets within very close range. Targets the clay golem oven succeeds against take 1d12 +2 magic damage. And that's our clay golem oven. Isn't he fun? The players love him. Now let's really quickly paint some bases because no oven will work without a chef. Let's meet our grub eater goblins. And this is the paint we're going to use for them. This is Goblin Chefs II and his father, Gugamule, the Iron Pot. Goblin was named after his grandfather, hence the second. Don't worry about it. To get started on these guys, we're going to use Goblin Green and Greenskin paints from Army Painter. Then we are going to use Metallic Burnt Iron from Lethal Shadows to do the cast iron bits. Now that we've got the cast iron done, we're going to use this fur brown to get that chicken's feathers just right. Now that those feathers are done, we're going to use Wyvern Fury by the Army Painter to do some more on the chicken and to start painting those sausages that are going to go great in that stew. And while we're doing all the various bits and bobs, let me tell you about Googlemule the Iron Pot. Googlemule the Iron Pot is a tier 2 leader. He is a very fat goblin chef. He is always wearing various meats and spices, as well as an immense magical iron pot that is constantly just the right temperature. Though it never burns him, he laughs jovially while serving amazing meals and a little bit of hurt if needed, and the Grub Eater Goblin tribe follow him. His motives and tactics? Serve a fine meal, of course, and lead the Grub Eaters to greatness. Also, find some of the greatest seasonings. His difficulty is 14, his damage thresholds are 10 and 15, he has 8 HP, 4 stress, an attack bonus of +4, and he wields a cleaver, which he can do 1d10 plus 6 physical damage with. He has experiences. He's an intimidating size for a goblin, +3, a master chef, +3, and Hell's Kitchen, also +3. His features? Get in here, grubbers! An action. Spend 2 fear to summon and spotlight 2 Grub Eater guards. Taste the soup, also in action. Mark a stress, and Googlemule tips the pot of ever-brewing stew towards 3 enemies within close range. They must succeed on a reaction roll or take 3d6 plus 6 magic damage. He has a hardy build. This is also a reaction. Mark a stress. When Googlemule marks 1 or more HP, mark that stress to mark 1 fewer HP. And passive, Grub Eater Leader. When Googlemule marks 2 or more HP, his closest allies will use their next spotlight to attack whoever hurt him. Now that we've used all of these different paints, let's take a look at Googlemule real quick before we move on to Goblishmule II, his son. Goblishmule II here is going to require a lot of the same paints that his father did. So let's just get into the painting. First, we're going to take this leather brown by the army painter and we're going to paint some of the bits and bobs. And while we get into our one and only time lapse that I have for this guy, sorry, this series is still a work in progress, let me take you through his fun little stat block. Goblishmule is a tiny, scared goblin boy. He is the son of Googlemule the Iron Pot and only wants to impress him, but is often too scared to succeed. His motives and tactics? Impress the Iron Pot, do what's best for the clan, and find some decent spices. He has a difficulty of 8. His damage thresholds are 6 and 12. He has 3 HP and 4 stress with an attack modifier of -3 and a frying pan with which he does melee damage, 1d4 plus 4 physical. His experience, Wee Lad, +2, Grub Eater Princeling, +2, and Kind of Cute, +2. He only has 2 features. Taste these! It's an action. Mark a stress to take a pocket full of spices and blow them onto an attacker's face. The enemy must succeed on a reaction roll. If they fail, they take 1d4 plus 3 physical damage and they mark a stress. Goblishmule runs from melee to close distance away. And then, too small to notice, passive. When someone attempts to find Goblishmule while he is hiding, his difficulty becomes a 13 instead of an 8. And with that, Goblishmule II is painted. Let's take a quick look at him. And now let's hit these minis with a bit of a wash, and then let's move on to some beauty shots. Let's check these guys out. And that's our Grub Eater Goblins and our clay golem oven. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, make sure to hit like. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below about what you would have done or painted differently. Make sure to clean your brushes, and I'll see you on Monday.